Okay, welcome to Ohav Shalom Messianic Congregation. We are a group that has a particular emphasis, and our emphasis is that we are aware that the Bible is true, every word of it. And given that the Bible is true, we accept the fact that Yeshua, known to the world as Jesus, is the Messiah, and his more than just a historical fact, he is a presence. You see, when they planted his body, all right, that was good. It loosed the spirit of the man, the essence of the person, out to be available out there in the heavenlies, and he can be everywhere at all times, in all situations, available to us. So we've come to, in a sense, take for granted that we are in touch with the inventor of the universe, the one who created all things, the one who keeps everything going, and who has a mind and a heart for great detail. Each of us, you know, David says, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So that speaks to all of the complexity of our human existence. Now, let's see. We have all of the stars and all of the planets all operating in perfect mathematical precision. All the matter is all worked out on our behalf, just the right amount of magnesium or the right amount of oxygen, and for sure the right amount of carbon dioxide, the photosynthesis process, and all of the biology that we have, all of these different organs in our body, each one with its own genius way of operating, and all of that, and more, in infinite detail. And yet, sometimes many people are telling us that that's all an accident, and that it just kind of happened very fortuitously, and that these accidents keep happening. You see, you have to be really dedicated to the idea that that all is an accident, that the Bible's not true, that it's just an insightful book like Shakespeare. You have to be very dedicated. Why are people so dedicated to this idea? They are dedicated because they want to remain on the throne of their own lives. I know best. I understand. There may be a force out there that created everything, but as regards my future, I know best. See that control factor? And although life beats up on people, it doesn't seem to make much difference for some. They will just keep going on and on. Now, God has all of this working out on our behalf, but there's a central theme in the Scriptures, Old Testament and New. And the central theme has to do with a microcosmic Middle East people through whom he is going to and has expressed his opinions about things. So God's point of view and God's perspective and God's opinions all are expressed through the Scriptures. And of the Jewish people, it says that they were chosen. I don't really care for that idea. Gotten us in a lot of trouble to be called chosen. Stimulates envy altogether. But nevertheless, we were chosen to be the oracles of God. That's what chosen is for, oracles of God. Some people got the idea that we're in a special category. Not to worry. The same rules apply to Jews and Gentiles, all together. We all have to accept the Messiah. Sin is sin, righteousness is righteousness. We all get into heaven by the blood of atonement. The rules are exactly the same for Jews and Gentiles. But God has a testimony to show his greatness in preserving the Jewish people. We agree with that, and we think at this time, as the world has increasingly centered around the nation of Israel, we become aware of the fact that geopolitics is like a giant chessboard, and all of these moving parts are all moving towards the fulfillment of what God has promised to Israel. We can't see it, we can't hardly notice, but that's really what's going on. So we're here, in part, out of curiosity. What else does God have to say about this microcosmic people from the Middle East? And we want to be a part of the great romance that has been taking place for a very long time with the God of Israel and the people of Israel. Having said that, I want to call on the